Hey guys, it's Alex from Hannemann Ironworks here, and today I'm going to be making a leaf, like the one I wear around my neck. It's just like a little leaf that you'd find off a fallen tree, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to make one like I'm wearing on my neck, except I will not have this little chain link in here. I made the leaf wrong to wear it, and so I made it a little connector piece. And it's actually a really fun fidget if you have nothing to do. Just spin it around, and I catch myself doing it all the time. But I will show you how to make one without the fidget. If you really would like one, you just take a little bit of really thin rod and you just bend it around in a circle. Like you toss in the fire, 2 pairs of pliers, and you just bend it in a circle. It's not exactly how I did it, but it's pretty darn close. And I just have, I think it's 3/8 or 1/2 inch round stock. I'm going to show you how to make a leaf from that. You can use whatever size you want. Bigger size you have, the bigger size leaf. Smaller size you have, the smaller size leaf. Alright, so the first step is get it really hot, and the second step is to draw a short taper. You just want to get started, and then you rotate between blows. And you want just a short taper. As you can see, it's starting to taper. Get it hot again and make it even shorter. Alright, just keep the taper on. Just keep rotating it. I'm going to use a lighter hammer because my arm's getting tired because I've been out here for a little while. Alright, so you can see it's got a short taper. You want to keep it within 1 inch and 1/2 of an inch, unless you want a longer one like a feather. When it starts to get black, stop hitting it. Alright, once it's back hot, you want to pull it back just ever so slightly and set it on the side of the anvil so you get a little bit of a shoulder. You want to make sure this on this one side, you want to rotate it. And I'm just using a little tiny hammer to set them. As you can see, there's little lips here. So if you put it against the anvil, you'll feel it stop. You want to make sure they're lined up with each other. And so you have your shoulder started, and you heat it back up, and I'll show you what to do next. Alright. Once you already have the shoulders set, make sure you want to find them. And you want to put them against the anvil. You just hit real hard to force the tapers in, or the shoulders in. And then, what I prefer to do is just to square the back of the bar up quick. And make sure not to hit those tapers if you come back here, or those shoulders if you come back here, because then you could fizz them together, and you don't want that. Now it's black, you gotta put it back in the fire. Alright, so you just want to keep working these shoulders down. Alright, so now you can see that those shoulders are really taking shape. You want to make sure, leave this piece alone and draw back this, leave this piece alone right here and draw back here until you get thinner. I will probably end up chopping it off with just a quick chisel or an angle grinder, whichever you have and whichever you want to use. I'm probably just going to use a chisel because I have it right here. But I'll end up cutting it back here or maybe a little bit farther back, but I want to make sure this tapers down real nice. Now it's nice and hot, you just keep working on these tapers. And the rule to doing tapers is you want to make them square, and then you rotate them, you make them an octagon, and then you start just kind of going around and making them circle. Now put it back in the fire. The thinner you go, the faster it cools off. And it's already pretty thin, and so it cools off really fast, but heats up faster back in the forge. So you'll have a bunch of really short heats instead of a long heat. Just keep working on these tapers. Now you can see it's getting quite thin. I'm going to cut it off right back here where it starts to kind of bend. I'm just going to grab a chisel and cut it off real quick. Alright. So I just have the bar between my legs. Put the chisel down. I just whack the top of it. As you can see, it gets really thin. You just grab a pair of tongs or a pair of pliers. I only have one pair of tongs that wouldn't work very well for this. I'm just bending it over quick to kind of loosen up this metal. And you don't want to do this when it's hot because it may not want to release. And so do it when it's cold so it wants to fracture. So now it's right off. You stick this back in the fire and you either cool this down with water or you stick it in the snow like I will. In the snow. Now this is going back in the fire, and you want to draw this back, taper out to a really thin point, because that'll be the vine of your leaf. Sorry, I mean stem of your leaf, not vines. Vines are completely different. Alright. Alright, so now you just want to continue the taper. Oh, come on. Until it's uniform like this. And you want to bring it up just a hair smaller everywhere. And you want to grab the back of this to fix the shoulders. Make sure they're square. And you just start rounding. Alright. Dang it. Alright, now let's stick it back in the fire. Alright, now it's time to round this up. Or not. I'm just hitting all these corners back here, or not, I guess. I have any pair of tongs that can do what I need to do, so this kind of works. Alright guys, now that you have it hot, you just want to you just want to flatten it out like that. As you can see, the things that we did right here, the shoulders are on either side of the leaf, so it looks like the leaf has a stem coming right out of it. I flattened it like about here, and I did round up the back end. It isn't perfect, nor should it be. It is a leaf. It's nature. Nature's not perfect, and that's why it's beautiful. Back into the fire. Alright. If you have a cross-beam hammer, you may want to angle off the sides a little bit. They kind of have a crisscross pattern in it. Or flatten it out a little bit. Instead of using a chisel like this, right here, I actually prefer to take a cross beam and just hit the sides going towards the front. In my opinion, it actually looks a little bit better. So, that's how I like to do mine. Alright, now it's hot-ish again. What I just like to do is to come to these sides retro. I just like to make kind of a crisscross pattern in it. Not sure how you can see that, but that is how I like to do my leaves. You can choose to do them with a chisel. You just want to go straight up and then a couple at the sides. But if you're doing a couple at the sides, you want to make sure you match them on the opposite sides so you have an even amount. That's a finished leaf right there. Now I'm just going to curl this end to come back around so you can string a necklace through it. Or to a key ring, or do whatever you please with it. If you want to make it for a key ring, I do suggest making it the way my necklace is actually laid out, where you have where you actually have a hole that goes this way instead of this way, because then it can lay flat with a key ring. So the way I'm going to bend this leaf is I actually have two pairs of pliers. You just grip the back end of the leaf where it starts to enter the stem. Then you take the stem and you grab the other end and you just kind of twist with it. Otherwise, if you did want to take it, you could hold the leaf here and you could just curl it over the anvil. I'm trying it for the first time using pliers. If it's an epic fail, I'll tell you guys just use the horn of your anvil. But not everybody has a horn on the anvil. And so that's why I'm trying to use just two pliers and needle nose pliers. Alright, so now it's time to bend it. As you can see, it's bending fairly well. So you can see there, it totally bends. I do suggest having a little bit smaller stem. They do bend easier, but I prefer a beefier stem just in case it happens to break. So I'm gonna stick it back in the fire. I'm gonna see if I can hammer this closed, and then I'll put some more markings here with my cross peen, and then I'll take some wax and I'll finish it off. All right, I've let my leaf get really hot, and so it should just form pretty easily. Hey, I got fire. So now, I'm just using this little Pritchel hole to kind of index and to hold it kind of steady on my anvil. And as you can see, it's bent so you can accept the necklace. Now I'm gonna flip it around. I'm just index this back piece a little bit more. This back piece did separate a little bit on me when I was putting more markings on it. So that's what I'd call a done leaf. The stem is very thick. That's the way I like it. If you want thinner, just taper it smaller. Now I'm gonna heat it back up ever so slightly to put some paste wax on it. Alright, it did take me forever and a day, but I did get this open. This leaf is completely black. You don't want any heat on it. I mean, you can do it with some heat, but it's just gonna cook right off. So make sure it's a black heat. It's still very hot, so do not touch it. Safety Sunday tip. And I'm just kind of rubbing it all around in this wax, giving it a nice coating. You can use a hairbrush, or not like an actual hairbrush, but like a horse hair or other kind of brush to coat this. But I find that it just kind of makes a liquidy substance, and I just kind of dip it in, and now it's completely coated. The coating's not going to come off, or shouldn't unless you heat it right back up. But this, when it's liquidy, it does cool it down pretty quickly. Still, do not touch it, but that's what I'd call a completed leaf. Alright guys, this clip is immediately after, so it's still very hot. I will not touch it. I'm gonna give it probably a good 30 minutes to cool down before I even consider touching it. I'm not gonna run under any water because I don't want to risk actually losing the coating on it. But as you can see, with the dimpling effects that I like to do on it, it's very unnatural, or not unnatural, it's very natural. But like if you do the chiseling, I find it just looks unnatural, and so I prefer doing it this way. It is completely black. It shouldn't rust because of that coating that I just put on there. There's not much else to it. Wait for it to cool down, string it on a necklace, sell it, give it as a present, do whatever. I'm not sure when this video is coming out. I did record a couple of videos today. Maybe this is coming before Christmas, but if it isn't, I'm giving this one as a Christmas present to somebody I know, and I think they'll love it. So if you like this video, or you like this tutorial, because it was a tutorial, it's my first tutorial, because I have made quite a few of these and I know how to make them. Please drop a like, leave a comment. If I still haven't hit 100 subscribers, drop a comment on what you'd like to see for the 100 subscriber giveaway. Like what kind of item. I'll make a video on forging the item. I may even make a live stream. It depends on the weather. But I'll definitely make a video on making it, and I may make a live stream of announcing announcing the winner. So anyway, I'm Alex from Hannemann Ironworks, and I'll see all of you guys next time. Bye.